So we set up a GoFundMe to get this $50,000 raised.
A $10,000 seed. I want those 17 people to obey God.
God taught me, all the money that you have left, give it to me.
I'll do that, grandfather. I'll do that now.
I'm asking God, look at what I asked God for. And I know there are 5 brothers here. 5, we already have this in our field, who gave an offering of over 100,000.
I desperately need 7,000 people to help with this task right now. With 1,000 reais. Therefore, need 7 million reais.
The Lord just spoke to me and said there's $200,000 in the house.
Yeah. I want the people who are going to serve between $1,000 and $5,000. We're going to call you in one tranche.
Money coming here! Money coming here! Money coming here! Money coming here!
I want you to release a seed tonight of $20,000 into the kingdom.
I'm asking everyone to give a particular amount, and that amount is $1,000.
To come in. I want $100,000. There are 10 people that could give $10,000. There's 100 people that could give $1,000. Get a check, make it payable to Paula White Ministry.
There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. It's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight.
There's 21 people in this building that God said will give $1,000.
You have large amounts that you have in savings or annuities, or you probably have to go in a CD and break it.
But there is someone that right now knows that I am speaking prophetically by the Holy Spirit, and you are to sow a $3,000 seed.
And you need to make a vow of faith of $1,000.
So we set up a GoFundMe to get this $50,000 raised.
Hello, my dear friends. Please, just a quick mic check. We have a very interesting show today. And I had to change a little bit the programming of today, what we're going to present. So shout out to all my good friends. Yuka is in the house, Michigan. Hi, Eddie. Yeah, 25 miles per hour, Michigan's in the house. Okay, hello. My dear friend Yuko is in the house. Thanks for being here, Yuko. Garth, thank you for being here today. Virginia's in the house. So many good people joining me. Thank you so much, guys, for being here today. We do have a very interesting show today. Sounds okay? Thank you very much, Yuko. We do have a very interesting show today. I had to make some changes to what I had planned. But I think it's going to be very beneficial to all of us, what we're going to be talking today and presenting. So hang around, and I should go ahead and start, always with the Bible verse. Hebrews 1 and 2. God, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers, by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken to us, last days meaning when the apostles were alive and preaching, spoken to us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things. So there's no communication between us and the Father except through Jesus Christ, and that includes also the Jews. There's no way for the Jews to communicate with the Father unless they recognize Jesus Christ is the Messiah. Another slide, very important, that I emphasized last week. Everything is a spiritual warfare. Everything is a spiritual warfare. All the information, propaganda, everything that's coming out of the media. We have a PSYOP every week, a different PSYOP. Sometimes every day, a different PSYOP. So it's no different. That's why I had to change a bit what we were planning for today. And I should go ahead and get started right away. So I want to expose today another shield, another infiltrator within the Flat Earth community that's been shilling for the globe lately. So this guy, you might, if you're not a Christian, you might not know his channel. His channel goes by Josh Monday Music Podcast, or sometimes Josh Monday Christian Podcast. He claims to be a biblical cosmology, but in fact, he is working with Will Duffy and TFE, and we are going to expose this today. This is from his YouTube channel. I am a Christian hip-hop artist. My name is Josh Monday, and I'll be uploading one song a month. My main goal is to give all glory to God. I am in the United States Army, and I have been writing songs since I was 14. So this information is important about him being in the Army. This is Josh Monday. So he has now a Patreon or GoFundMe. He's trying to get some money, just like those pastors, because he wants to prove the globe earth. He wants to check the sun. He wants to follow the footsteps of Jerome Campanella. So hi everyone, my name is Josh Monday, the host of Josh Monday Christian Conspiracy Podcast. I'm a devoted husband, father, Christian Bible teacher. He's a Christian Bible teacher, an Army veteran. I have been teaching biblical cosmology for 4 years. I have believed the earth was flat for 4 years now. I have been wrestling with this subject for quite some time. So here, see, this guy who teaches biblical cosmology had believed that the earth was flat. So the whole point is that this guy, he just gave an interview, and you guys know I was ahead of the game, the whole Jerome Campanella thing. And before this guy comes out saying he is a glober, which he's planning to do in 6 months when he go in December, he travels to South America to measure the angles of the sun. I'll tell you today, he is a glober infiltrated in the Flat Earth community. Right, and he praises Jaron a lot. We just heard his podcast. So he praises Jaron a lot. The same, he's a, Josh supposed to be this Christian podcast, Bible teacher, biblical cosmology. He praises the guy who says all those blasphemous things, Jesus Christ. He says here he was married on 11/11/11, which equals 33, because he is a Masonic shield. This stuff, I've been these videos several times here, that his wife has some ideas, thinks he should summon Satan. And the guy who thinks that you should be reading Aleister Crowley's work in order to find the truth. So Josh has been praising this guy a lot. And to show you that I'm not saying things that are not true, you will hear from his own mouth right here. Let's start by this one.
Today's the anniversary 11/11/11, which adds to 33 because I'm a Masonic shield. Today's the anniversary 11/11/11, which adds to 33 because I'm a Masonic shield.
And let's listen to this one and get out of the way.
They're all antichrist at work here, presenting themselves as truthers. Let's take a look.
I don't believe in Christianity. Jesus Christ can suck my d***.
When the book of the law is studied, it can be seen to be a set of ciphers and riddles meant to conceal the lost words of the Temple of Solomon, which Crowley claimed to have discovered while researching the Zohar and Freemasonry. So in my mind, anyone who dismisses reading any of his work is not really looking for the truth.
So you just heard there from Jaron himself those very blasphemous statements about Jesus Christ, but he praises Crowley.
So you see there by yourself, okay? This guy, Josh, has been praising a lot, Jaron Campanella. He is traveling with Jaron to Punta Arenas in Chile to measure the angles of the sun. They've been falling around, and he is searching for money. So if you want to, don't waste your time thinking that this guy is a flat earther, because he's not. He's already there. He's a glober, and he's searching for funds to donation so he can go to measure the angles of the sun, and which has nothing to do with the shape of the earth. And we're going to expose all these guys today. So I got this message. Shout out to Sam Abukaya. Good morning, Eddie. How are you? Look, this is a podcast going on right now. Josh Monday is apparently not the good guy I thought he was, and TFE is far from being over. So there was Josh Monday on a Glober's interview, which he praised Pastor. He called him Pastor Will Duffy, and he praises Jaron Campanella a lot. So at 1 hour, 12 minutes, he calls Will Duffy the Pastor Will Duffy, defending him. I give him credibility. Josh is a shield, big time. At 18 minutes, he gives David Wise credibility, says that there is an interpretation in the Bible that confirms flat earth, no more than that. So I'm going to play this audio here for you to see. So he starts to play FE down. In 1940, he admits if he turns glober, he'll be a geocentric glober. Here is the card of confusion he's playing. So there's no confusion here. There's no such thing as a geocentric globe, because Earth is flat. So we're going to go over all this stuff right now. Let's go ahead and play some clips that show that this Josh is, in fact, a big-time shield. Let's start with this one here. He's a United States Army, and he seems not to understand, the way that sun moves on the flat earth.
Yeah, so that's another thing that kind of got me too, would be Max's is when Jaron was going over that in the north it sets what, left to right,
Left
and then
to
for you
right.
guys it's setting right to left. Okay,
Right.
so that's another thing that I was like, I didn't really obviously for us that live in the north, we don't see that, we don't know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing that's very intriguing for me. Now the thing that I hear people saying right now in the flat earth community is that we all have an apparent sun, and that's, I don't know, I haven't had anybody explain that to me correctly. I don't know what that means. That's basically moving the goalpost or something of the sort. An apparent sun for everybody doesn't sound like.
Sounds like
Using ancient man's concept that the Earth is stationary, we imagine the celestial bodies on the celestial sphere to rotate from east to west.
The apparent motion of the sun is not uniform. For this reason, it would be difficult to construct a clock capable of keeping this irregular time. Therefore, a mean or imaginary sun is used. This mean sun is assumed to have a uniform rate of motion with respect to the Earth, and that rate of motion is equal to the average rate of the apparent or true sun during a year. The time measured by the mean or imaginary sun is called mean or civil time. The time measured by the apparent or real sun is called apparent time.
All right, I had to play those two clips because Josh is a U.S. Army veteran. Those two clips that I played is from the U.S. Army, and it was made in the 50s, explaining the motion of the sun. The sun rises from the east and sets in the west. We all know that, and Josh seems not to understand that. Okay, right now, guys, I'm facing south. Okay, as I speak with you right now. North is behind my back, that direction, and I'm facing south. I always face south. That's the window that brings the light on my face. So I'm facing south right now. So the sun rises to my east, which is my left hand. Okay? You're not looking, you're looking at a mirror image. This is my left hand. The sun rises on my left, and sets on my right. I go out on the balcony, and the balcony in the afternoon, I see the sun setting on my right. So to me, I'm facing south. The sun rises on the left, sets on the right. But if I turn around 180 degrees and faces north, I'm going to say that the sun rises on my right and sets on my left. I mean, very easy to understand. And it's shameful for the US Army if this guy who is a US Army veteran does not understand that right or left is the way that you're facing, if you're facing north or south. I mean, pretty dumb, but the same dumbness that Jaron Campanella is spreading around, right? So let me share here my screen. Gotta teach these guys. Not teach because they are shields. They're not there to be taught. They are just there to misinform people. So the sun comes from the east, as we see here, and sets in the west. It's equal in North America. I gotta tell Josh, this is the United States. Perhaps he doesn't know. The sun rises on the east, on the New York coast, east coast, and sets in California. Okay, if the person is facing north, the sun is gonna rise on his right hand and sets on his left hand. But if this person turns around and 180 degrees and is facing south, the sun will rise on his left hand and sets on his right hand. So the path of the sun is always east from east to west. It's the way the person turns, it won't make any difference. The sun always rises on the east and sets in the west. Same thing in South America. Right there, here I am in Brazil. If I'm facing north, the sun is still rising on my east, but that time it's going to be on my right hand and setting on my left. If I turn around and face Antarctica, the sun is going to rise on my left hand, but still the sun comes from the east and sets in the west. Shameful for this guy if he's a U.S. Navy, U.S. Army. Pretty shameful, but he doesn't understand the sun comes from the east and sets in the west. Okay, shameful, embarrassing, pretty embarrassing. You know, I don't know if it's. I mean, I know I have plenty of friends who are U.S. Army veterans, and they know that. Okay, pretty shame, embarrassing for this guy, Josh Monday. So it just shows that he is a shield. I've shown these guys for you, this several times for you, same thing with the stars, rise in the east and sets in the west, right? Always. I did go live on TikTok the other day because I heard this Glober, he goes by the name George Physics, and he was misinforming people. He's a professor at the university telling people that the sun and the stars rise on the left and rise on the right and sets on the left. Again, misleading people, totally being deceitful. And so this is what Josh is doing right now. He's being deceitful, deceiving his followers, deceiving his subscribers into believing that the sun rises on the Pacific and sets in the Atlantic in South America. Okay, embarrassing to say the least. Sorry guys, I'm gonna keep up with the chat just a second. I really need to go through this presentation because everything is connected to this fake alien agenda. The globe, this shields, TFE, is all about keeping Christians wrapped around the globe. You know, it's always Christian. I live here in Japan, 90% Buddhist and Shintoist. You don't see them Buddhists, you know, pretending to be Buddhists just to deceive the people. But it always happens in the Christian community. You see these guys, so-called pastors, who are not pastors at all, Bible teachers who are not Bible teachers, just infiltrators, agents, Jesuits, whatever, who tries to deceive, always tries to deceive Christians, right? So I'm going to play another video here. Let me see. I think it's this one right here.
Let's see what the Bible says, you know? And then I started getting into Rob Skiba, and I did get into Pastor Dean Odell just a little bit, more Rob Skiba though. And once I found out that there's an interpretation that lines up with Flat Earth, that's what it is. It's an interpretation that lines up with Flat Earth.
So he claims there is an interpretation. The Bible, there is just an interpretation that the Bible is a flat earth book. Well, I have a lot of stuff to show about that stuff, and I'm going to show the first one right here. This is a Brazilian collection of Brazilian Bibles. Right, this is a collection of Brazilian Bibles, Portuguese Bibles, you see right there. The Bible is a flat earth book. There is not an interpretation. It's fully, completely a flat earth book. And I could present 1700 English Bible, 1800s, early 1900s, 20, all showing the same thing. The Bible is a complete flat earth book. It's not any small interpretation. There's no other way to see it but that the Bible is a flat earth book. And that's the Brazilian edition. If you go to the American, and there is many others. And Josh goes on. He says that the flat earth is like a new age stuff that, Eric Dubé, all that stuff. That's the point, guys, my brothers and sisters in Christ. Please stay with me, even if you're not a Christian, stay with me, because the Bible is a flat earth book. You gotta point this out. When Jesus entered Jerusalem, the people were claiming, Christ the King, He's the King, blessed is the name, is the King. And the Pharisees told Jesus, tell them to shut up. And Jesus told them, if they shut up, the rocks will claim, And here we see Josh, who is supposed to be a Bible cosmology teacher, not teaching what the Bible says, which is a flat earth book. We're going to show you right now. But rocks, we have people like atheists and people like himself say, New Agers, saying that the earth is flat, and confirming that the Bible says the earth is flat. So take a listen to this guy. He's an atheist. This video is like 30 years old, but please pay close attention to what this person is saying.
The Bible describes a three-story universe. Heaven is a solid sphere, a hemisphere that arches over the earth, the rakia in Hebrew, the firmamentum in Latin, the firmament in the King James Bible. There was water above there, that's why the sky is blue, and somewhere above that is the abode of heaven, of God and the angels. We are down here on this flat earth. The Bible is definitely a flat earth book. And below us in the subcellar is Sheol, or hell. Now, as long as we had this three-story universe with the physical heavens to which the sun and the moon and the stars were attached, the Magi could very easily follow a star, which was not many thousand feet above them. They could follow the star to the birthplace of Jesus. Now, the temptation of Jesus will have to be thrown out. Remember, the devil supposedly took Jesus up onto a high mountain and showed him all of the kingdoms of the world. Now, that will work if the earth is flat, but it won't work if the earth is a sphere. And then we have the problem of the end of the world. In Matthew 24, verses 29 to 31, we read, the stars will fall from the sky. The celestial powers will be shaken. Then will appear in heaven the sign that heralds the Son of Man. All the peoples of the world will make lamentation, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with great power and glory. Now, once again, if all the people of the world are to see Jesus at his second coming, we have to have a flat earth. This will not work really with a sphere. Well, in the three-story universe, we had to have communication, upstairs, downstairs, and in the ladies' chamber or whatever. You all know the visit of the angel to Mary. But we don't have any need for angels now that we know they can't climb down Jacob's ladder to get from heaven to earth. It's again in some other dimension. So this whole thing of heaven, hell, and of course with it the idea of eternal punishment, eternal reward are certainly very enigmatic ideas. They don't seem to make much sense anymore.
All right, you heard the guy there explaining. He's an atheist, and I have a collection of them. You know, a video that I uploaded like 5 years ago. Gotta turn off my phone here. So I upload that video. There is a collection of atheists, you know, playing, demonstrating. You know, the Bible doesn't make sense unless we see it through the flat Earth perspective. On the globe, it makes no sense. You know, Duffy was asked where is heaven, and he said outside the solar system or the galaxy. He said galaxy. Well, this galaxy is 97 million light years away, according to the heliocentric model. So according to Will Duffy, whom Josh Monday praises nonstop in his interview, the heaven is 97, God is 97 million light years away. Completely ridiculous, right? But there's more. I want to show you today that the Bible is, in fact, a flat earth book.
What if what we are taught about Earth is in complete opposition to what Scripture says? This isn't about opinions, this is about reading the text for yourself. Because the Bible makes some very specific claims. Psalm 104 says the earth is set on foundations and cannot be moved. Psalm 93 says the world is established and it shall never be moved. But we're taught that the earth is spinning, tilting, flying through space at thousands and even millions of miles per hour. So which one are we trusting? Then there's Joshua. In the middle of battle, he doesn't say, "Earth, stop spinning." He says, "Sun, stand still over Gibeon." And Scripture says the sun stood still, not the earth. Now look at Genesis. God creates something called the firmament. In Hebrew, the word is rakia, and it comes from a root word that means to spread out or hammer out like metal. Something stretched, something structured. That structure divided the waters above from the waters below. The Great Deluge, known as Noah's Flood, is an event many believe truly happened. Accounts and evidence of a massive flood appear across cultures all over the world. Genesis 7:11. On that day, referring to the flood, all the fountains of the great deep burst forth, and the windows of the heavens were opened. The windows were not just poetic, they were described as something that could be opened and closed. But we're told there's no barrier, just our atmosphere sitting next to the vacuum of space, something we can't replicate without a container. There are many more scriptures that challenge what we've been taught about the world we live in. And the deeper you go, the harder it becomes not to ask. Was the model we are given designed to conflict with the biblical text? So let me ask you something. Are we interpreting Scripture through man's lens, or questioning what we've been taught? Because the Bible warns us not to put our trust in man. And if there's even a chance we've been lied to about something this big, wouldn't you want to look into it for yourself?
Christoph, let me ask you, why do you think that Truman has never come close to discovering the true nature of his world until now?
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
No question. No question. The Bible. I'm so glad I got this video this morning. You know, when we have one guy, a shield who exposed himself by the grace of the Lord, the Christ the King, we have 100 Christians realizing that the Bible is a flat earth book. So I'm really happy I got this video this morning, just before the show. And I said, well, this is really well explained, but we're going to go over more. Now you see, he said something really important, that some people remove the trust on the word of God and start trusting man. So that's exactly what Josh is pushing people to do, especially his followers. Forget about the Bible, trust Jerome Campanella, because he keeps saying the whole time, I trust Jerome Campanella. He trusts this Jesuit Satanist who blasphemes against Jesus Christ. He's going to travel with the guy. I think they already did travel to Alaska or something. They're going to go. He's trying to raise funds to travel with the guy to Chile. That's his he's removing the Bible and placing Jerome Campanella. And so that's going to be his he's going to teach his Bible sermons right now, because he cannot teach Bible cosmology anymore. He's going to say, oh, trust Jerome, trust Duffy. I don't trust the Bible. That's going to be his Bible studies right now. So I still got one more. Let's watch this one.
So let's take a look at the parts. Waters above and below the heavens. Genesis 1:6, God said, let there be an expanse. Some translations have firmament. It's rakia in Hebrew. In the midst of the waters. And let it separate the waters from the waters. And God made the expanse, the rakia, and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse. And it was so. And what was that expanse called? Heaven. The heavens, the sky, Shemayim in Hebrew. So you have here the sky. Okay, and you have waters above the sky, and of course you've got waters below down here, but then you have the atmospheric heavens as well. Psalm 148 mentions the waters that are above the heavens. That's after the flood. Did you catch that? Because a lot of people want to say, oh, the waters above, they went away with the flood. See, the firmament was this canopy thing, and it was there, and then the flood, it just went away. And no, it wasn't. According to the psalmist, he's still referring to it. Proverbs 8, when he established the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep. Isn't that interesting? We'll get to that. Circle on the face of the deep. When he made firm the skies above. Made firm is amatz in Hebrew. It is the same verb for letting a tree grow firm, hard. Ancient cosmology across the board believed that the sky was this dome over the earth, and it was solid. Kind of like the Truman Show. Okay? They believed that the stars were affixed to it. Some of the stars never moved, but other ones did. And the ones that did, this is why the word stars is attributed to the sons of God and to angels in biblical literature. They believed that the stars were animate beings, that they were really divine beings, and then they'd come to earth as angels, but they lived up there. And those were the ones that moved. Why? Because movement shows what? If something moves, it's alive. Okay? They believe that this is there's a solid expanse over them. Another passage. Job 37, verse 18. Can you, like him, speaking of Job, can you, like him, spread out the skies hard, kazak, hard as cast metal, mutsak, as a metal mirror. Mutsak is the same word used in the casting of the laver, the tabernacle where they would wash. It's solid. It's also the same terminology used for flint rock. Again, these passages point to the belief that there's a dome, the sky's a dome, and it's solid. And God lives above it, we live below it.
I don't know how any other way to say it, and I'm not trying to be harsh here, but there are a lot of pretenders who talk about, cuneiform texts and ancient languages and stuff like that, and they don't know any of it. They never took it. They never studied it. They wouldn't know the first thing about it. They couldn't give you the alphabet for any of it, but yet they're the experts. Well, I like to say I am what these people pretend to be. Okay, this is my area, and so I say that. You shouldn't be lying to people. You shouldn't be making stuff up. It not only deceives people, but it dishonors the ancient people that produced this material. And they wrote not to be misunderstood, not to be a tool of manipulation, but because they had certain things they wanted to communicate.
There you have Michael Heiser. He knowledgeable of the Bible languages, and he said the Bible is a flat earth book. He passed away, but whether he believed it or not, that's his account with God. But the language is clear. The Bible is a flat earth book. There's no missing interpretation. There's no other way to see it. Right? So this is to show you that there's not just an interpretation. No, the Bible is fully, truly a flat earth book. But we're going to move on to other parts. I just want to share this a couple more slides here with you before I play another video here. Okay, so a couple of Bible verse. All right, let's start with this one here. So this is a question that Martin Luther asked Copernicus. When Joshua ordered the sun to stand still, did he mean the earth? So how is Josh Monday gonna preach the gospel right now? Is he gonna say that the earth stopped, right? Say among the heathen that the Lord reigned, the word also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people righteously. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament sheweth his handiwork. When he prepared the heavens, I was there when he set a compass upon the face of the deep. His going forth, meaning the sun going around the earth, his going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit into the ends of it. There is nothing hid from the heat thereof. So how will you even be able to preach any Bible? You know, what is he going to say now, right? So pretty clear that he is a deceiver, and he has been placed, you know, among Christians to later steer them away back to the globe. And we're going to look at that. Now, let's move on from the Bible, because as I say, the Bible is a flat earth book, you know, but it doesn't make sense. The Bible makes no sense if the earth is a globe. You know, you can throw it away because it has no use at all. But to show that, you know, I'm going to show you proofs that I have done for 10 years that we live on a flat non-rotating earth. Just prior, when you know, I like the way that Brother Sanchez and Zetetic Warrior exposed Jaron, you know, and he was forced to say that earth is flat, right? So Josh has been praising Jaron a lot because of the sun. So take a listen to this, Josh.
You mentioned that the ground always being flat, and I agree. I've measured it flat. I've done laser tests. I've done mirror flash observations.
You mentioned that the ground always being flat, and I agree. I've measured it flat. I've done laser tests. I've done mirror flash observations.
You mentioned that the ground always being flat, and I agree. I've measured it flat. I've done laser tests. I've done mirror flash observations.
You mentioned that the ground always being flat, and I agree. I've measured it flat. I've done laser tests. I've done mirror flash observations.
So we do live on a flat earth. You know, there's no curvature anywhere. That's what we must focus, because we have no idea how the sky works or what the celestial beings are. There's no way, right? So let's move on to the physical proof that we live on a flat, non-rotating earth. Let's start by, as I pointed you to guys several times, that we are enclosed. There is this ice wall around the earth, which is Antarctic ring, right? That's why tsunamis do not wrap around Antarctica. Instead, it's contained. As we have more earthquakes in the Pacific region, it's always contained in this region right here. It doesn't wrap around Antarctica as it does when it wraps around continents, I mean, places like Australia and other islands like Hawaii, Japan. You know, it never wraps around Antarctica the way it does on these others, okay? And very good point here that I'm gonna make. Let's go back to these slides over here. This is the flat earth map. Now, when the ships go circumnavigate, comes from Europe, or in case here that we're gonna talk about one that's from Brazil, it goes south and then turns left towards the east, and then keeps turning, always turning left. On the globe, we would have to turn right. Let's go back here. If you're circumnavigating the globe, Antarctica, you need to be steering right, always right, to go around Antarctica, but you don't do. You go always left, always left. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. Let's watch this short clip here. This one.
Cape Horn, you turn left and then you turn left and then you head back home. No, to the right is Antarctica. Sailing around the world is very simple. You go down the Atlantic, you turn left every time and then you go back up. It's like going around a neighborhood block. You always have to turn left. If you ever hesitate at any point, just turn left.
Here's what you can find on the Long de Globe's website, where they model the route on the sphere. They show us that you can go around Antarctica by turning to the right with the waypoints. But as he himself says, he goes around the neighborhood by turning left, as you can see on the Gleason map, keeping the Antarctic Circle on the right. I already told you that a sphere cannot be unfolded. Here's the proof. Thank you, Francois.
Okay, this guy, Francois, is one of the racers, the boat racers, and he was explaining how to circumnavigate around Antarctica. You keep going left and left and left. Now, last year, the Brazilian government had a mission around Antarctica, so it was the same way. So shout out to my good friend, Flake Flip. I'm going to play his video right now.
Circumnavigation of Antarctica. This here is the academic Trishnikov, and it had a transponder inside, and that's exactly how the circumnavigation went. Pay attention. They left from Rio Grande right about there, okay? The boat right there pointing 90 degrees. Then they made a sharp turn to the right and headed south, you know? They kept heading south, moving directly towards the edge. As at the Antarctic Circle, 58 south. They turned left. 90 degrees, left is north, right is south. They went straight, then forced to turn left 80 degrees. It's all on the transponder. Then they went straight. And then they reached the tangent point once more, you see, and they are forced to make a sharp turn of 80 degrees to the left once again. Then they continue on a little bit further and just keep on turning 80 degrees and keep on turning 80 degrees. That's how the circumnavigation of Antarctica was carried out by the academic Tryoshnikov. If you want to check it out, just head over to my YouTube, alright? Fake Flip on YouTube. Yeah, I followed this voyage in real time for 69 days, always going like this at 80 degrees. It went 80 degrees, it went 80 degrees, always to the left. It's obvious because that's the shape of the Earth, so the ship has to keep turning left, always to the left, 80 degrees, throughout the entire journey. They made a few stops, right? It's true that they made a few stops, but the cruise is always done with 80-degree maneuvers. It went 80, it went 80, it went 80 degrees. Sometimes a little less, maybe around 75 degrees. If they happen to veer off to the right, they might hit 110, but they would always correct their course. The final result was consistently kept under 90 degrees. You see, at exactly 90 degrees, they would inevitably strike the walls. There are walls everywhere. Traveling in a straight line simply means hitting them. The maneuvers are always to the left, always to the left, always to the left. For those who want to follow along in real time, I was the only channel worldwide to show this live. Not even Professor Jefferson Cardiasimoes from the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul would show it live. I wonder why, right?
Hi, big shout out to my friend. Sorry, I used 11 Labs to translate. He made this video in Portuguese. But you see, you go south and then you keep going left. There's no way on the ball. Okay, that's why geocentrism is just as bad as the globe heliocentric, because we don't live on a ball. There's no curvature. You know, there's no curvature. Even Jaron Campanella had to admit that he measured the Earth flat, right? So what's Josh talking about without this nonsense that he's going to measure the sun and he's going to come out as a glober? And this is what the guy says right here. Let me show you.
I teach the Bible every single week, 2 times a week. I got a Sunday service, Wednesday service, just like a pastor would have.
I already see you as a future former flat earther, if that makes any kind of sense.
So the guy, the glober, already see him as a future former flat earther. I see Josh as a shield who had been infiltrated, never a flat earther. He was just a sleeping cell waiting to be activated among the Christians. And then it's getting to the moment where he's going to be activated. But as you know, guys, I was ahead of the game. 6 months before Jaron Campanella went to Antarctica, I already told you guys that he was a glober. And that's, I'm introducing to you another glober infiltrated in the flat earth community, this time as a Bible teacher. Josh Monday, you are a glober, you are a shield infiltrated. And guys, you know what's funny? he goes on in this show saying, "Oh, flat Earth is a cult." He's already starting that stuff. And again, I'm ahead of the game. 2023, Leandro, the Brazilian flip-flopper, flat Earth is a cult. Jared 2025, flat Earth is a cult. And now Josh, Monday 2026, starts saying the flat Earth is a cult. All right. So they all have the same script. Okay. They infiltrate it and then they come out and they start saying that flat Earth is a cult. These guys are deceivers. They work with the big deceiver, the father of lies, the guy who the fallen angel who rules of the earth. Let me catch up here real quick with the chat, okay? And actually, I'm going to go ahead and play the first song. I haven't played any song today. I'm going to go ahead and play the first song while I try to catch up with the chat. Then we should come back. We find here a good song for us. I do have one song prepared. This one here.
Let's run it up. Science went flat, 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 flat. Water stay level, put that on the map. No curve, no spin, no cap in my rap. Whole globe model, straight collapse. Flat, 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 flat. That's the way. NASA shook, whole world about to catch. Suez Canal sit perfect, straight as it get. Science went flat, it won't go back. I've been posted on the coast, water looking dead still. They preaching about curvature, but I ain't seen that thrill. 120 miles, a canal, dug at dead level. Engineers ain't at no boat, stop with them fables. They say we spinning wild, but I move how I move. Coffee cup never spilling, boost staying smooth. Horizon look sharp, straight line, every check. They been lying for years, now it's time to collect. Science went flat, 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 flat. Water stay level, put that on the map. No curve, no spin, no cap in my rap. Whole globe model, straight collapse. That's the way. NASA shook, whole world about to catch. Suez Canal sit perfect, straight as it get. Science went flat, it won't go back. Experts on the news getting real defensive. Calling us crazy, but they running out of incentives. Eclipses hit different when the plane is flat. Moon slide right in front, simple math. No fake gravity, holding oceans to a ball, just a flat foundation. Flat surface, y'all. Standing proud and tall under that big blue sky. Truth in the water, can't nobody deny. They can keep lying, but the ocean don't lie. Horizon too straight under that big sky. Whole world waking up, yeah, the time is now. Science went flat, 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 flat. Water stay level, put that on the map. On game, no spin, whole globe in the tracks. We running this way, put your hands up fast. Flat, 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 flat. Screaming to the sky. Science went flat, watch the truth multiply. On the streets of America to the edge of it all. Science went flat, it won't go back. Science went flat, it won't go back. Yeah, we up next.
Hi guys, I was able to look at the chat real quick here. We're gonna go on, there's more. We're gonna talk about this fake alien invasion, the disclosure. Shout out to my good friend here. I can't read, sorry, let me use my lens. Yeah, Garth, hello Garth. Shout out to you, brother. Flat Earth Patriot, my brother from Canada, is in the house. There's no way, even atheists say the Bible is a flat Earth book. Yeah, there's no denying. There's no denying. Portugal is in the house. Hello, Victor Lima. How are you? Okay. Logical observations. No curvature, no motion, no globe fantasy. And be aware of false prophets who came to you in sheep's clothing, but are ravenous wolves. A whole bunch of pastors, fake Bible teachers. Any Bible teacher of, that's why, guys, I've been saying those pastors who display a globe behind their pulpit or whatever, be aware of those people because they replace the Bible by man's science, by heliocentrism, by what Copernicus said. And now Josh Monday replaced in the Bible by what Jaron Campanella says he saw in Antarctica. Totally chill. Totally. All right, so shout out to all of you who are joining us now. Crystal, I saw you in the house. Tammy, so many good people. Thanks for being here. So let's go on and move on to the second part here, which was going to be the first, this whole alien agenda. All right. So you see here, TFE, why is it important for them? Because no globe, no alien agenda. So that's why these guys are New World Orders. You can include Josh Monday right here because he's all New World Order. She's trying to bring Christians back to the globe so they can be deceived, right? A couple more psyops of the week, 2-3 passengers traveled home. This is all about this new virus going on. You see the magic number 23 there. 23, which means twice the number 3 or 33. You have here Spirit Airlines shuts down global operation after 33 years due to failed rescue talks. You have here the Twin Towers, 1968, 2001, 33 years to it. It's amazing how they show their numbers. You see the whole. Shout out to my dear friend Victoria from Sweden. I'll see if I have time to display more of your things today. So the whole Artemis 32 with all 33 everywhere. 33 everywhere. And this guy, he's a very famous Brazilian newscaster. He's been on the news for like 30 years. And so funny, guys. He is the one who promoted the jab. I mean, many others, but he promoted the jab a lot. And he made fun of Flat Earth, when he was leading his news, a big TV station in Brazil. He got 33 trophies, like the Emmy Awards in the US for television. He got 33 awards at once in one ceremony. So some people are saying that the reason he got 33 awards at once is to celebrate that he became a 30 degree in a certain secret society. There was a way to pay homage to him, something like that. So some more. Now this is not interesting. All right, so this whole alien agenda going on, and let's go ahead and watch this short video here. Where is it? Okay, right here.
But there were a large number of pastors that had been invited to go to a certain state to hear some men in the United States government and others share with them a concern that they had. But he said, Perry, what they're about to release, from what we're hearing, there's going to be a release concerning aliens and concerning unidentified flying object spacecraft that some of the people who were in the meeting were telling us as pastors, you need to prepare your people and you need to get ready to answer them for what you're about to hear being released. And some of it has to do with crafts that have been discovered that are not allegedly a part of our planet, and the materials they're made of are not a part of our planet. Very strange reptilian-looking creatures.
All right, guys, I have been growing very suspicious of pastors in general, because I have told you that, in Brazil, like 70%, 65-70% of them are Freemasons. I'm being very suspicious if these guys are really helping us or if they are part of the deception. Okay, you had 100 of them invited to go to their land in the Middle East, and to promote the whole thing, the third temple, and you have these that have been called to be briefed, or are they just part of the whole agenda, the whole, deception? I'm very suspicious of these pastors nowadays. Shout out to my good friend Dave from Oregon for sending me this video about this disclosure. So, because it's just like the Vatican, I think the Vatican had a similar one, the briefing their priests about that stuff. So I'm just wondering if they are really being briefed, or they are just already part of the whole program, the whole disclosure, alien agenda stuff. And in my belief, it's my opinion that this whole TFE, it's just to bring people back to the globe so they can be deceived by this fake alien agenda. And that stuff is real. These guys worship the globe, This is an image in a church in Europe somewhere. They were calling Mother Earth, right? They had to touch Mother Earth and protect Mother Earth. Very disturbing, actually, And this whole fake alien agenda programming coming up, it's my opinion, that's my opinion. It's more deception, more, pushing towards this one world government and distraction. Because while you're paying attention to these fake aliens, and in order to control more the population, they were probably gonna have to issue some sort of a digital ID or something. Now, I was listening to this American guy. He is living in Mexico, and many people are fleeing the U.S., searching for more freedom. And but he was saying that within weeks, perhaps, they're gonna implant something that without a digital ID in Mexico, you won't be able to function. So there's no really a place to go right now. You can momentarily escape, let's say so, but it's not going to be that forever, because such thing is going to be implemented everywhere. I can see it coming in Japan, 2027, 2028, in other countries, I think it's coming, Brazil is coming. So we can momentarily go from one place to another, but they will force this upon everyone. Now, one thing about the latest season, and we believe that the tribulation is gone. It's past. So what they are doing, pay attention to these guys. The Ottoman Empire. Okay, the Ottoman Empire, they used a different strategy. When they invaded the Orthodox lands, they did not want to create martyrs. They didn't want them to reproduce and spread more. They said they learned with the Roman Empire, which persecuted Christians. So they used a different strategy. The Ottoman Empire starved people, let them die on themselves, let them go crazy, like lack of water, food. That's how they did with the Christians there. They did not, of course, they killed a whole bunch. They took the women, not just as slaves, but as sex slaves, and they did the horrible things there. But they did not want to create any sort of martyrs, So what we are seeing now, we're seeing the same thing. They are making people disappear. I remember a politician several years ago, I don't remember his name, but he was saying like, oh yeah, we can make people disappear, So it's not like you're going to see martyrs, that they're going to, kill them in squares, They just make people disappear. I was watching a video I was talking with one of my students about the population in China. The population in China is not 1.4 billion people as they want us to believe. As a matter of fact, some people say 300 million, some people say 400 million, but no more than 500 million. So I started watching this video on China's population. And it was just a video, no conspiracy, nothing, just talking about the population. And so many people from different parts of China describing their cities as being empty, totally empty. And they were showing, they were walking around. A lady went to a restaurant. She went to one restaurant for breakfast, just her. She went to a different restaurant for lunch, just her. In the evening, nightclub, and she went to the gym, just her. And she was explaining that's been the norm for many, many years, for several years, and many, many other people. So this guy, he said something, well, maybe he didn't know what he was saying, but he said something about like, well, before the third booster, there used to be more people in my city. He said that very innocently, but he said that, before the third booster, there used to be more people in his city. So you know how they are diminishing the population, and they will target Christians. They're going to target people who speak out in somehow, some way, truth seekers. And so it's not going to be like it was before. They have learned. That's why they are playing what we are seeing today. They're playing Revelation is a handbook. Everything is past. We are in Revelation 20, the season where Satan is deceiving the nations. And that's what you're seeing with TFE. One by one, they're deceiving, infiltrating, so they can now bring people back to the globe. That's how they're doing, deceiving one by one, or as many as possible. But this whole alien disclosure, everything will not work on a flat earth. That's why they gotta push their ball earth propaganda, right? All right, so let me go ahead and play another song right now. We come back with that. My voice is getting, I got a new version here of TFE. Let me see if I uploaded. I don't remember if I did. Yes, I did. Yeah. So this is a new version. Thanks to True Christian, he helped me fix. But we're still working on. But I think so far this is the version that's going to be it. So if you don't know what the whole TFE, the final experiment, or the fakery with Jaron Campanella and Pastor DeWill Duffy, this is a story of what happened.
I'm curious about this TFE. It all started in the fall of 2023. This Colorado guy made a video among the bushes, saying he was gonna put flat earth back to bed, and this new idea forward he pushes. He had secret phone calls with a guy named David Weiss about going to Antarctica, a place as cold as ice. He then went to this YouTube live stream starring Jaron Campanella, a guy who has some shady Bitcoin business with Weiss, his good fella. Central casting TFE, shills exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Central casting TFE, shills exposing themselves for the whole world to see. It was then early 2024, this story becomes even shadier than it was before. It turned out this guy's name was Pastor Will Duffy from Colorado, I'd say. He worked with Bob and Yart, who wanted to send flat earthers to space. Jaron, who says he hates Jesus, said he's good friends with Bob's son Dominic. I'm not making any of this stuff up, I just can't understand it. Many Christians never heard of Bob and Yart, but Jaron the atheist was good friends with them so far. Duffy then hires Jaron to go to Antarctica in 2024. Jaron had already starred in a Netflix flat earth hit piece before. Jaron brings his business partner, Austin Whitsitt, among the stars, who was shot to stardom in 2023, appearing even on Stu Peters and InfoWars. David Weiss went to several live streams defending TFE, Jaron and Austin as a team. Weiss acted as TFE's lawyer, defending Austin could see. But Jaron had already showed his colors in behind the curve. He found Earth curvature in 400 yards. Yeah, he had the nerve. Waze and Jaron were good friends, as close as carrots and peas. They were 24 hours together for 10 years straight, as close as one can be. From Mondays to Sundays on YouTube, Rumble, Rockfan, and Odyssey. Controlled opposition in all platforms, culminating with TFE. Jaron went to Bro Sanchez's YouTube show not long ago, saying Earth was a bigger ball and on top was flat like a Home Depot. David White said the same lines on a different stream. He said Earth was a bigger ball, if you know what I mean. Jaron and Austin went to Amazon Studio 15. We know that because they couldn't provide an Antarctica midnight live stream. Austin said the sun was dancing in the sky, while an Antarctica passport stamp neither one of them could provide. Jaron didn't even know how to position his compass anywhere. He held it upside down. Said there were 100 people at the camp. Then he said only 10 people were there. On TikTok Live, he said he had never been in the South. NASA shills, no doubt about it. Infiltrator since 2015, trying to control the flat Earth movement, controlling us all from within. And so the story ends. These shills exposed themselves for everyone to see. They revealed to be central casting actors, working with Will Duffy and his TFE. Central casting TFE. Shills exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Central casting TFE. Shills exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Central casting TFE. Shills exposing themselves for the whole world to see. Central casting TFE. Shills exposing themselves for the whole world to see.
Hi, that's the newest version. I thank you to Christian for fixing some of the pronunciations and right. So shout out here, the Atlantic Odyssey that brought the hantavirus was 33 days long on the cruise, right? Yes, 33 against that number. Flattered Patriot, yeah, like North Korea, China, bogus a lot. Yeah, the stages a lot of bogus information about the population being 1.4 billion, but the estimates is no more than 500 million, and perhaps this is an exaggerated number anyway. And another comment here: population is PSYOP. Actual numbers. Let me see it. Sorry. Population PSYOP for sure. I do know of this topic. Yes, I've been watching. Following this China population, and it's way lesser. So you see there the video about Josh and the TFE. My opinion. This channel here, Flattered Banjo, you have seen that I've been ahead of the game. One step ahead of these guys. I could see their deception in June 2024 when David Wise were sending me messages telling me not to talk about Jaron, not to say this, not to say that. That's when I spoke the louder, because I saw the deception, I saw through the lies. Those guys were deceiving. So you guys, if you subscribe to Josh Monday podcast, it's up to you. I'm not saying hate him. You can pray for him. But he is a deceiver. He's deceiving because now he's going to preach the globe earth, the power to which it goes against the Bible. And there's no curvature, as we explained here today. Even Jaron Campanella could not find curvature or motion. We see that the ships, when sailing south, has to be turning left. You go to University of Rio Grande do Sul, the transponders, all the information is there. You can check the information. They keep changing, turning left, 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 because that's how you circumnavigate around the flat Earth. You gotta go, keep turning left, 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 left. And you saw the Vandy boat racer saying the same thing. Okay, maybe I should play that video one more time because it's a very good video. This one.
Cape Horn, you turn left and then you turn left and then you head back home. No, to the right is Antarctica. Sailing around the world is very simple. You go down the Atlantic, you turn left every time, and then you go back up. It's like going around a neighborhood block. You always have to turn left. If you ever hesitate at any point, just turn left.
Here's what you can find on the Long de Globe's website, where they model the route on the sphere. They show us that you can go around Antarctica by turning to the right with the waypoints. But as he himself says, he goes around the neighborhood by turning left, as you can see on the Gleason map, keeping the Antarctic Circle on the right. I already told you that a sphere cannot be unfolded. Here's the proof. Thank you, Francois.
Here you see the physical aspects, the geographical, that we proof that we live on a flat, non-rotating Earth. There's no way to circumnavigate this island continent called Antarctica. Antarctica is this perimeter, is the ring around the flat Earth. There's no other way to navigate around this flat Earth. There's no curvature. And let's look at the Bible verses. One more here that I want to show you. Very important. One of the most important verse. Did I upload here? I think I did. Oh, maybe I didn't. I'll find it in the next break. I should have here somewhere. Okay. God, yeah, I do have it. I'll find it in the next break. So if you want to watch more about this flat Earth deplorable, he broke it down even more. He has an entire video. Is this next psyop coming? Does the sun make the ground curve? That's the claim that Josh Monday, the Christian, so-called Christian podcast, Bible cosmology, biblical cosmology teacher, saying that now that the sun makes the ground curve, even though there's no way, there's no, it admires me a lot how this guy got to be a shield because he's the U.S. Army. Is he going to account for the rotation of the Earth now when he shoots, when he, for 4 years, he, as a biblical cosmology teacher, he probably said that he did not have to account for the Coriolis effect when shooting a target. But is he going to say now that he has to do it? I mean, it's a shell, So flat Earth deplorable. If you want to check the whole video, I don't have stomach to go over this Josh Monday interview because it's shilling from the beginning to the end, but it would make me vomit. But Flat Earth Deplorable had a stomach, and he did a video, a 20 minutes video. I just placed the link on the chat if you want to check it out later. He breaks it down even more. A lot of fallacies from Josh Monday, the Christian, so-called Christian Bible teacher, biblical cosmology teacher. And I don't know what he's going to teach now, because according to him, the Bible is not flat Earth book, even though we have overwhelming proof that the Bible is a flat Earth book. But he's going to replace the authority of the Bible by the words of Jaron Campanella, the Satanist. All right, guys, I want to share here a couple more things. One of them, if you want to subscribe to my channel, please do so. I've been gaining subscribers, even though I have been, these guys are going to target me on their documentary because I've been one of the most vocals exposing their heliocentric lies, Of course, there are so many others who came out, speaking against their, these shields, but they have been targeting me. They even said they're going to feature me on their mockumentary. So let them do it. Christ is king, and I'm going to honor my king and preach what the Bible says. The Bible is a flat Earth book, and I'm going to keep on saying. So let them promote me if they want. But my message is the same. Christ is king and the earth is flat. If you want to support my channel, here are the links. You can go get a t-shirt, a map. If you want to consider becoming a patron, I would appreciate. 10 years doing this, I only have now 14 patrons, and never require many, never. It's because the COVID stuff, really ruined our life here, business, and things got more complicated. But, you're not required to. All my videos are here, share, you're welcome, and I communicate, I answer questions, all of you. I never limit to patrons only, never did this. I treat every one of you the same. I don't, and my patrons know that. Good thing is like I don't give like VIP treatment here because I consider all of you important. You are my brothers and sisters in Christ. And if you can't afford, it doesn't mean that you will not get information. Some people like Jaron Campanella, he closes his members only paying so he can share all the shilling stuff they have. No, we here. This is the Bible. The Bible is open. You can open and see it right there. The Bible is a flat earth book. And why should I make this private for members only to hear what the Bible says openly? So that's how I am. So my patrons know that I don't need to share messages in secret with them. I share with all of you, regardless if you are a patron or not. You are my brother and sister in Christ, and you know that the Bible is a flat earth book. I think there is no question about it. And today, I made sure that you understand that the Bible is a flat earth book, even if you're not a Christian. Even the atheists know that the Bible is a flat earth book, right? So let me, I said that I was going to download a slide. I still have a couple more actual slides that I want to share, but this one, I really want to share this one here because I prepared for this presentation and I forgot to include, but I have it here. Just downloading, and I'm going to move to the folder here, and now I can share with you guys, okay? Very important, extremely important Bible verse. And where is it? Just had it. Don't know where it went. Okay, let me find it again, okay? Hold on, guys. Let me find the Bible verse again. I gotta find it. I don't know why it disappeared from here. Where did it go? Got it. Okay, got it now. Let me share this with you guys. Very important Bible verse. Right here. Proverbs 8:29. When he gave to the sea his decree that the waters should not pass his commandments, and he appointed the foundations of the earth. Right there you see the flat earth, the Antarctic ring, all around. That's why ships go here south. The Brazilian ship, he headed south and then turned left 9 degrees and then went straight and then had to make an 80 degrees in straight, had to change again, straight, and then left and left, keep turning left, left. It's out there, the transponder documenting the movement of the ship around the flat earth. 70 days for them to go around. And why do they have to go east? Because that's why I like to play, when I play videos, I show that ocean currents going from west to east, because that's how the ocean currents go right here. So they have to go along the ocean currents. They cannot go against it, right? So the very important Bible verse. So the Bible is a flat earth book. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I think do we have time for anything else? 124. We have been going on for 124. I think we do have time because I don't want to end the show in like 133 or so. I'll share some stuff here I was supposed to share. Won't be able to talk much about the little season today. I wish I had. I did prepare something, Well, let me show this. Some guys, Globers, were saying like, "Oh, we never talk about the Chinese mission, the space program, only NASA." No, let's look at the Chinese space program right here. This is some of their uh, footage. You see the Chinese astronaut fades in out of nowhere, just like, magic. So you can see there are layers there. He's in a studio, and then his image is projected into this look-alike International Space Agency. Just like nowhere, he fades in. He appears out of nowhere. That's Adam there. All CGI, the satellite. Now, this has been shown several times. You see they are floating, but the cup doesn't float. What happened to the water inside? Why is it being contained? All water needs to be contained, just like they have right there. Glass of water being contained, not floating around. Right there. Why isn't the water falling off? It's being lifted out of the cup, but the water is being contained. More fakery, look at this guy being hanged by wires. It's comical. It's like look at him being lifted, and look at the glass of water right here being there. So we know I have shown videos how they do that stuff. That's their ISS in space. This video I think is from 2012. That's original. That's from them. Chinese space agents. That's them. Completely fake. It's just like 60s animation in front of a screen. Just pasted. You see there the Chinese. It's a mockery. It's so funny. See them there. So funny. Look at how fast that ball worked. And they say the Earth doesn't spin that fast. Look how fast it's spinning right there. And it's spinning the opposite side. Again, you see how the fake, you see the ball spinning. That's their mission in space. I mean, it's so fake, so funny. It's like 80s animation, like when you see Ultraman shows, that's their Chinese space station right there. That's for the Chinese people, propaganda for them to see. That's them showing their mission space. Look at that fake space in the back. So how fast it is going, Look again, that's the Chinese mission in space. So fake, so funny. And you can see how funny it is. And that's when they landed. Look at the CGI. They landed on the dark side of the moon. And there, everybody clapping. So this is some of the Chinese space program, just as fake as NASA. For some people who were saying, "Oh, you only show NASA stuff." No, this is the Chinese space program, and we are going to be showing from other countries. I'm going to bring from Russia, from from other countries, India, and all that stuff. All right, let me catch up with the, So shout out to Matthew. He's in the house. Yeah, it reminds of Godzilla movie, exactly. Reminds me of those Godzilla effects movie. Reminds a lot. So we had so many good people here, and I'm sorry that I haven't been able to shout out to each and every one of you guys. I love you guys in Jesus Christ, and I'm really happy that at least you guys who are here understand that the Bible is a flat earth book. There's no mistake on that. There's no there's a small interpretation. No, the Bible is a flat earth book. And this shield named Josh, big time shield, Bible teacher, there's no future. He's a Glober now. Okay, let's look at this one more time.
I teach the Bible every single week, 2 times a week. I got a Sunday service, Wednesday service, just like a pastor would have.
I already see you as a future former flat earther, if that makes any kind of sense.
I already see you as a shield, never being a flat earther, Mr. Josh Monday, who infiltrated in 2021, was a sleeping cell. You supported all those shields, TFE. You hosted Jaron 2 times. You welcome him. You buddy with him. You travel with him. You're gonna travel again. You said that you exchange messages with him. You are buddy with this guy here, the satanic infiltrator, the guy who blasphemes the name of our Lord, Christ the King, Jesus Christ. That's your body. You're gonna travel with him. You're gonna go do some solar experiments. Gonna observe the sun. But even Jared himself has measured the Earth, and he knows the Earth is flat. But because you, Josh Monday, is part of this whole TFE deception, and you're gonna join. You're just like these birds of the same feather. You flock together. So you're flocking together with all those shields, all those TFE, right? You're just back to the where you belong. You were never a flat earther. You deceived many people, just like Austin. You deceived not all, but you're not a future ex-flat earther. You are a present glober who infiltrated on the flat earth, your sleeping cell, waiting the moment to be activated by your boss, Bill Duffy, and you're being activated now. All right. So you're being exposed today. If you subscribe to him, you still want to give him money to go to observe the sun, and in December to come back to say he is a glober, don't wait. I'm telling you today. Today is May. What? Happy Mother's Day in the US. Here's Japan. We already had our Mother's Day. We are still in May. You don't need to wait until December. 6 months before Jaron turned into a glober, I already told you he was a glober the whole time. And I'm saying to you, Josh Monday, he is a glober, infiltrated, sleeping cell, and he's being activated now. So you're being exposed. So I'm not going to be talking about it. Don't worry. Don't say that people are going to go against you after you. No, we don't care. You just expose yourself, just like TFE. It's the largest amount of shields exposing themselves ever. So you cannot deceive the elect. You cannot deceive those who trust the Bible. You can only deceive people who don't trust the Bible. That's what you can do. So you're doing the devil's work. You're deceiving people that don't believe the Bible. But the ones who rely on the Bible know that the Bible is a flat earth book. Those you're not going to deceive. So you're just playing with fire, with, by teaming up with the devil, because devil is going to be cast into the lake of fire. So I wouldn't do that, but it's up to you. So if you follow him, it's up to you. Pray, perhaps, but I would not listen to this guy anymore. Know his biblical explanations, because he doesn't believe the Bible. He believes what Jaron Campanella says. He's not founded on the Bible. So that's my take on that. I had so many other things to talk about it. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. So we're going to end the show, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. May you have a blessed week. Leave your comment. I will reply during the week. Have a good day. I'm sorry to all of you. I couldn't shout out to all of you, my brothers and sisters who are here today. But a big hug to all of you who are here. And I'll see you back next week. Okay, take care. See you then, guys. Bye-bye.
Wonderful, magical, celestial light, fantastical, mystical, wonderful sight. Belgian Swiss physicist Auguste Piccard, 1931, first to reach for the stars, was the first to explore the air view stratospherius, a scientist curious to see what was there. An aluminium black ball on a helium balloon with photos and instruments sailed towards the moon. Rose in just half an hour, 52,000 feet, 10 miles of depth pressure, up a dead drop in heat and cold, but disproving gravity. Wonderful, mystical, beautiful sight. Flatline separation of black from blue light. A world run by deceivers, false make-believers, hiding in shadows, stealing our light. Mystical, fluorescent light. Wonderful, magical, awesome. Yes, stealing our light. Wonderful, let there be light. Supernatural, eternal, supernatural. Up we go. Higher than rainbows, higher than mountains, above cumulonimbus, higher than air. High level horizon, 360 around us, flat right round behind us, any height that you dare. The sun and the moon both revolve above around us, to forever short time past intelligently there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, no more you deceive us, we keep you like air. Kipper and Picard were the first ever known to reach up there. Divine luminescent light, mystical, wonderful, celestial light. So what was their eternal testimony? What did they report back to humanity? Said it seemed like a flat disk far as eyes can see, with an upturned edge fading into infinity. A mystical, ethereal, celestial sight, a divine creation, a clockwork of light, designed hid by deceivers and false make-believers, still cowering in shadows, still fearing our light. Here we go, higher than Everest, higher than airplanes, above zero cumulus, higher than air. A level horizon, 360 around us, no motion beneath us, no spinning, no fair. Stars on the firmament, time above around us, to forever short time past geometrically there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, forever beneath us, we keep you like air. Mystic, sun, illuminant light, fantastical, magical, bright, we see through you like air. Magical, angels of light, beautiful, wonderful, celestial light. The first to see truth when they reach for the stars, explorers and physicists, Kipper and Picard. Never you'll defeat us, forever beneath us, we see through you like air.